Oh, when I get out of this jail, boy. Welcome back to Par. Welcome back to the channel. And it is season 4, episode 1. We are past the halfway point of this show. And what is going to happen when you go one-on-one with the great one is the real question here, because this episode is called When I Get Out. So we kick off the season pretty much where last season ended. Ghost is being read his rights. He's having to take his clothes off. His phone's going. Tasha's trying to ring him. We're getting flashbacks of Tommy and Tasha telling him not to trust Angela. She's a fed. You can't trust him. And you know what? The more you look at this, it's like the more that they were absolutely right. Like, come on, let's be real about it. They were absolutely right. I said, like, this relationship is so stupid. It was always going to end like this, and Angela wants a blood sample from Jamie, from the big man. Then the main FBI guy, which his name it just fucking eludes me. He gets the phone call that James St. Patrick's been arrested for the murder of Greg, but of course he's actually the one that killed Greg, so not looking good here for him. Tommy then heads down into a basement. It's turned out that he kept Tanisha, what's her name? Tanisha, alive, I believe it is. Of course, we're led to believe, obviously, like Milan told Tommy to kill her, but he actually kept her alive. I mean, to me, she's hot, like, I mean, I'll give her that, but it's just a bit weird that, you know, they would keep her alive, to be perfectly honest. But here she is, she's alive. I mean, later on in the episode, she kind of has a go at Tommy about what he's doing, and things aren't looking too good in terms of that. I was like, is he going to have to shut her up? But no. Then she returns to Tasha's house, but we'll get that a wee bit later on. Tommy confronts Dre about where the fuck is Tyreek. And Tyreek, of course, is with Kanan, but then they hear about a better deal. As Dre shows up, Dre's like, I'll get you his money. Oh, 15 grand ahead, so we don't need to do this whole ransom deal with Tariq. But obviously Tasha thinks it's Kanan because of the whole burnt arm thing. But guess what? They don't think it's Kanan, because Tommy kind of puts, maybe not the doubts in her head, like, but he says it can't be Kanan because there's no way Ghost would have let him be alive after going into that. So who really knows? We didn't see a bit into, like, Proctor, who, of course, is Ghost's lawyer. Like, a bit into his family life, and I don't know, just very weird. I mean, who really cares, to be honest? I mean, I think this is just weird. He goes upstairs and his daughter's like crying in the bathroom. I kind of felt sorry for his kid, but come on, man. James St. Patrick then phones him. Hey, man, you need to help me. But he's getting poked in the back by this guy who's, you know, cop killer, soul stealer. Keeps poking him in the back. You're a cop killer, James St. Patrick. Absolutely is. Tasha then phones Proctor, and she's like, how do you know so much about me? He's like, I need to keep you going, man. Proctor knows so much, man, because he's a good fucking... Yeah, he is a good lawyer. I mean, he's kind of been like a nothing character. It's kind of blew up out of nowhere, but it is what it is. And you know what, guys, right? I actually cannot fucking believe that this Kanan storyline with kidnapping Tariq has fucking ended like this. I think this sucks. I'm sorry. Like, I get it from their point of view. Well, you know, there's a lot of heat around Ghost right now, so maybe... yeah, we'll just get money out of Dre and the drugs instead of having to kidnap Ghost's son, because obviously, you know, Kanan's heard that Ghost is arrested, which is a pretty decent sized win for him, I guess, but for fuck, come on. I mean, imagine leaving us on a cliffhanger thinking that, going into the next season, Tariq's been fucking kidnapped and what's going to happen? Can't believe they've did that. Tariq then shows up, there's a bit of a reunion, you know, with him, Tommy and Hing. Tommy then confronts Dre, and Dre's like, no, man, I'm being straight with you. He made Slim up. Slim doesn't... Hey, Slim, does he even exist? Weird stuff going on. So it looks like Kenan's just going to keep watching from afar here and see what happens, getting his 15 grand a month. Like, what are we dragging out here with Kenan? Like, I just, surely with Ghost locked up, right? Is it not a perfect time for him to make his moves? Like, honestly, like, you know, don't remember back in season 2, you had fucking Kenan had like all the associates and all the contacts round the table and was like, right, we're going to take out Ghost and then we're going to run things, and then of course Lobos and fucking Tommy got arrested. And it's like that just fucking went nowhere. Honestly, very weird. I feel like this show, it tries to do so much, but in reality, like, not an awful lot happens, if I'm being honest about it. But Tariq, looks like he's going to be alright. But Tommy's a wee bit suspicious of Dre. But, what are you doing with Kanan, man? What are you doing? Kanan then talks about his first night in jail. Then we see Ghost's first night. Can't really sleep. Proctor talks to him. Ghost was funny. He's like, yeah, I was at his house that night, but I didn't kill him. And he's like, here, your little story that you were in his house, but you didn't kill me, ain't going to add up. I got a cheap pop out of me. I thought that was incredibly funny. And as Ghost is being like walked back to his cell, Proctor phones Tasha, and he'll need $2 million to bail Ghost out. Killing a federal agent ain't fucking cheap these days. And then we're introduced to this old guy. So we're introduced to this old guy. I'm not quite sure who he is, but I think it's Tommy's dad. I genuinely think it's Tommy's dad. I don't know why I think it's Tommy's dad, but I just think it's Tommy's dad. Like, he's white, no real connection to anybody. I think it might be him. Tasha's struggling though to get the money together, and Ghost throughout this episode, he kind of is being bullied by the guards in this prison. But to be honest, can you really blame me? You know what? I actually kind of respect the fact if someone kills cops, all like the cops inside, like, unite and fucking batter them and shit. Fair play, Like, I know we watch these TV shows and the criminals are supposed to be like the great, but I like cops as well. I've no real issues with cops. But, Tasha's friend's fucking pretty great, and she's looking at her. But then as Tasha turns around, as her friend shows up, the police are here, and we're here to raid your house. Not good. And then we kind of get a couple of funny scenes here with Angela busting in, talking to Tasha and co. But I just, there's something about this I didn't get. Like, her friend sitting there, here, do you want me to batter Angela here? What? In front of like 50 federal agents, even though Tommy just told you to lay low? Come on, woman. A wee bit fucking ridiculous here. But, all the contacts, Peter, who's shaved his head, looks really weird, looks like Julio now. He's a bit worried about Ghost getting arrested, and a few of the people contacts are, man. And you know what? Rightfully so, to be honest, the way this is fucking going. Because with Ghost arrested, things aren't looking fucking good. But then we're introduced to Han. I say Han, it's not really Han. It is Han for Fast and Furious, but it's Mr. Mac. And he's an agent, damn it. He wants to make a deal with Saletti. And this guy, I think, is Tommy's dad. And he's 68. He's in jail. Looks like he's never going to get an appeal. But if he gives him the names, he'll be out with an appeal, and he'll be able to see his wife, who's sadly dying of cancer. So if you look at it from that point of view, if he wants to see his wife, he'll have to make the deal. But Mac's making this deal, and I thought, this Mac guy, good actor. Is he going to be in this series? And boom, he is in this series because he's been moved on to the task force. He's on the team, damn it, that's going to bring James St. Patrick down. And he's up against Proctor. And that's when we see Proctor against Mac in the courtroom. Before this, we do get a scene between Tasha and Ghost where, she kind of berates him for what happened. And Ghost is like, oh wait, there is one more option. Get my money from Dean. Get my money from Dean. Get my money from Dean, damn it. Dean is the man. Dean is the man. And Dre's now told to get some fucking woman trained up at the club. And Julio's been picked for distribution, which Dre's obviously pissed off about. But, I mean, let's be real. Julio's been with them for ages. It makes total sense for Tommy to pick Julio. Like, I could understand maybe if Ghost wanted to go with Dre. But Ghost is in fucking jail, man. Not going to happen. But Tommy, still very suspicious about this entire situation. Then we get the whole courtroom showdown. Proctor against Mac. I thought Proctor was going to win, but thank God he didn't, right? I'll tell you why. I mean, his fingerprints are outside, like, on Greg's window, and Proctor's like, here, that doesn't mean he killed me. That doesn't mean he killed me. No, he didn't. I mean, his fingerprints, there's blood on, there's fucking DNA for St. Patrick under Greg's fingertips, and you're trying to tell me that doesn't, like, arouse suspicion? Like, it puts him at the fucking crime. Honestly, a court and all that shit, man, it's all corrupt as fuck. But Mr. Mac gets what he wants, and Ghost will remain behind bars. I'm glad of this, because you remember a few seasons ago, Tommy did get released, but now, and now this time it's not. Dre gives Kenan the 45k, of course, 15k ahead. So we've been intrigued to see how this goes down. Tommy makes a few more phone calls. But I tell you what, man, things aren't looking good here. The St. Patrick household is turned upside down, and then to end the episode, Ghost is getting absolutely battered by the guards. And you know what? Even though he didn't kill him, they think he killed him, and that's good enough for them to batter him. But you know what? It's a strong start to the season. A bit all over the place, but there was a lot in there. New characters introduced, and they all look good. So I'll give this episode, guys, an 8 out of 10. So until next time, peace.